hear a little bit about what you guys know. You know, give me some ideas and maybe teach me a little bit about the trade. You know, and just here we go. This is what I got right now. All right, you guys get the point. So, I guess where I'll start with, since I've got what I've already got. Uh, I want to fully arrange it. I've got what I've already figured the whole song will need, but there's a few things that what I use to what I've got that I need to do still. So let's see. Let's start with arrangement. I think I'm going to just extend that out a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to just do that again. I don't know. I want another melody going. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know. So I like my hotkeys, but sometimes I alchemy. I don't know. This is what I do. I just sift. When you are a broke producer like you sift through every free sound you can find, and that's what I use Alchemy, which is a free plugin that comes with Logic Pro X, and this what is it? The 1970s analog ARP is what I'm using for the main right here. That's what's going on there, but I need a little something more. Right off, I like that one. I don't know, let's see what we can do here. That's why I like to loop a section that ain't killing it too much. So let's just maybe not that one. Okay. That's kind of what I do, guys. I just come across a sound. If I like it, I like it. I don't know. That's what I do lately. I mean, sound design is. I'll get into that in the future, but you know, my focus is kind of just learning the software and being prolific in my productions. So I know that's a flaw in a lot of creators is they don't take time to learn how to make the quality of their content. But I do what I can. I'm raising a family. I don't know if that matters, but I do what I do. That sounded pretty dope. So when you do that, there's a thing, Shift R, and it'll pop up exactly what you just played, whether you hit record or not in Logic Pro X. I do like that about this program. See, that's the thing, is I'm not a keys player. I'd like to collaborate with a keys player one day, but it's the beauty of the piano roll, my friends. Control A selects everything. Alright, first thing I'm gonna do is sometimes, not all the time, I like to quantize 100%. Now how you do that is I press Control A, that selects everything in the piano roll, and then you can select whether you want to quantize it by half notes, 14th notes, 18th notes, 16th notes. For the most part, 16th notes covers for what I do for the most part. So I select that, quantize, sets everything 100%. Now it's on time. Just what I played. I'd like that to go up. Let's see if that loop's good. I'd say so. What do you guys say? Not too bad. Not too bad. So let's continue that loop out. See what that does. Of course. That's what I like about Logic, is that you can drag it out like this. I mean, sure you can do the same with other DAWs, but what I started on was Fruity Loops, a cracked version of Fruity Loops. I mean, same. I mean, who hadn't heard that story? A cracked version of Fruity Loops. That's where I started. Hey, you know what? It was a beautiful thing. I wish they never lost that name, Fruity Loops, because that's what I remember. But you know. Easy as that, man. Yeah, that I got lucky on that sound there. I gotta. All right, give me a second. Yep. Right there. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate and you know, be personable, congenial at the same time. Whoop. In case everyone's wondering, that nasty sounding synth in the background, of course everybody knows that be Serum there. That, I don't know, I'm still very, very new to Serum. I just bought it, or actually I'm on the Splice. Shout out to Splice. If you check out Splice, guys, I'm on that $10 a month. Rent to own, and you know, I'm still learning what I can do with it, and it's very customizable. Yeah, I recommend it highly. I've used it a lot already. Anyways, what do we at here? Alright. Sometimes it's a little frustrating. I like to listen to my music through. I like to get that feeling. I want to see if it sounds right to me. And I will. I'll sit here. I'll listen to the whole thing. Definitely did not start in the right spot, so let's bring that back a little bit. like it. I like it. I don't know. I don't know. What else? What else to do? What else to do? I'm still so new, guys. Chime in. Let me know. You got ideas? I'm open to them. This is still my art, but I'm definitely open to ideas. Alright. Chants. I like chants for some reason. That I always feel like you need a good chant. So let's just, I don't know. Let's go to the sampler here. Do stereo, because first things first, everybody. I'll tell you. Always name your tracks. If you're tracking out, this is a lifesaver. First thing you do, name your track. This is a chant. Okay? Alright. So, now, where I'm at here, if you want to know how to get to the mixer, you hit the X button in Logic Pro X. Pulls up all your faders. Pulls up all your channels. The channel that I just named right here. Here's the EXS24. I'm sorry. Now to get a sample in there, you hit the edit button. You pull it up. Hit the edit button. Now me, I have all my stuff on my desktop. But you can always just usually type it in. It's the same one. Don't ask. Don't ask. I like that one. Alright. So, the edit button, it brings up this window. Really? Usually you can just drag and drop it. If you meant, it should give you. Alright. There you go. There you go. You should have it in. Now. Sorry. It right there, guys. Alright. Shift R brings up what you played if you did not hit record. And there it is. Yeah, that was me fucking around. Yep. So let's trim that up. Double click on that. Brings up the piano roll down here. Click in that area, and then you Command A will select everything, and then from your previous selection, depending on if you hit 16th note, 18th, 8th note, so on, hit quantize. It will do it congruent to what you had there. Alright, so now there it is. Oh, I don't know what the hell that did. See, sometimes you gotta fix it though. Let's solo that up and see exactly what's going on there. No. Alright, so since I don't really like that part, so let's Command Z will undo everything you just did. Okay, I deleted that, so one more time. Alright, so we got, I do like that. I like that off timing, off kilter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the play roll right here, and I'm gonna highlight. I'm gonna delete this first of all. I'm gonna highlight right here, and I'm gonna Command C, which copies it. I'm gonna keep the playhead right exactly where that is, and then I'm gonna unclick that, deselect, and then Command A, which selects everything. Then I'm gonna quantize, and then that area, you see it did not quantize it to where I would like it, so I'm gonna select that area, delete it, and then since I have my playhead right where I had it, and I go ahead, I Command V, I paste it, it's right exactly, it's exactly the time signature I had it without the quantization. So that should be a little better. Let's hear it now. Yeah, you guys get the point, don't you? Alright. In order to X out of that, you gotta save it, make another name, me. I'm gonna call that, what's the name of this song? STFU? I don't know, I need a name, guys. Give me a break. So, STFU dot chant. Name everything, everybody. Everything you got. Name it, label it, so you can find it later. Alright, so now that we got that, it's quantized, everything's on time. Good, I like it. Alright, drag it out, loop it. That, everybody. Alright. So since I'm not gonna be on here too long, maybe another 45 minutes, let's get into a little bit of my mixing. Hopefully you guys can chime in, give me a little bit of insight of what you know, because I've got a pretty, I've got some techniques that have gotten me some thump out of my drums here, but I would definitely listen to what you guys have to say. But so first of all, here, let's, to pull up all your faders, hit X in Logic, and it pulls them all up. I do have my kick and my 808 going to a bus in Logic. Now, that is one of the first things I do like to do, is I like to make sure that, first of all, that my kick and my 808 are in a binaural pan. And here, actually, let me do that while it's playing so you guys can see the difference. And how, you want an 808 and you want your kick down the center. And that is the very best way to do it in Project Low X. Pro X, and I'll show you. Look, this is where it starts. Boom. You want to put it right dead smack in the middle. Boom. Listen to that snag. That's with nothing else. No compressors, nothing. Alright. Now that I've done that, alright. Now, what I consider to be very important is gain staging. However, I'm not the best at it, so do not judge me. But it is very important, and I've heard a dramatic change in my sound since I've started paying attention to myself. So, like I said, chime in with your ideas and thoughts, and I would love to hear. I'm here to learn. I hope you're here to learn. I'm here to teach what I know, and I hope you guys will share what you know. And let's just keep this cordial, and not get hateful with each other. This is a community, and that's what I like about it. So let's be brethren, man. Check it out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start mixing my 808 and my kick, and I like to pull up both of my EQs for both of them. All right, what's going on here? There you go. So you got the kick and the 808. All right, and I like to watch them both at the same time. And the beautiful thing, since I went to school, they did not have these things called analyzers, and it is great. Or it's very new, anyways. Let me rephrase. Tells you exactly the frequency of what you're listening to live. So, I'm sure everybody tells you to take out the very low frequencies. So that's what I'm going to do here. And it really does. It takes out a lot of the muddiness. It keeps your tracks from clipping. And that's what I found the best technique. So let's just start with that. And that's where I like to start. And another tip that I've heard that I really do, I kind of agree with, since I've put it into practice myself, is don't solo your tracks. Sometimes there is the occasional occurrence where you should, but for the most part, you shouldn't solo your tracks so you can see exactly where what you're working with is fitting into the track. Like for example, my kick here. I can tell by boosting 138 hertz, 4 dB, definitely making it hit a little harder. Okay? Alright, now the thing is about gain staging. At 138 hertz, 4 dB, I've boosted it at the kick. Now let's solo the kick. This is where you do want to solo. Alright? Now here's another thing I like to do. Go to your main stereo, like your main out. No, not the EQ, sorry. Turn that shit off. Yeah. Hang on, sorry. Alright, yeah. What I like to do is I like to put a level meter. Because I pay more attention to the RMS than, clipping and stuff like that. I use my ears more than I use my eyes, okay? And sometimes that's good. Maybe most of the times that's bad. I don't know. It works for me. But this is what I do. So for my kick, I'm going to solo it. Alright. Where's it at? My kick's down here. Usually, you want to make sure that first of all, I forgot to mention this. The first thing I like to do is pre-meter or pre-fader metering. Okay. Now that's the sound before it. Your fader affects it. So whatever plugins you're using, you want to make sure the signal that's going into it isn't too hot to begin with. So what you do is, like, say for example, I'm using the ESX 24 sampler here, or whatever the hell, you guys know what I'm saying, the EXS 24 sampler. Okay. Alright, so on that channel with all the panning, the EQ, something I didn't go back to, I boosted it at 138. Now say that it is now at negative 1.5. Okay, we want it to be, for a kick, we want the kick to be the loudest thing, the kick and the snare to be the loudest thing in your mix. So about, we're looking for about negative 10, negative 11 on that. So right now we're at what, negative 1.5 on me here. Look. Okay. A little too much. So what we want is to trim it back by the plugin itself. Okay? If you're hitting the channel by the fader, you're just gonna clip. So what you want is you wanna hit it from the sampler itself, which is here. You got the volume knob. And again, I do not claim to be a guru here, so please don't bash me and let me know what I'm doing wrong, and hey, maybe we could work together one day. Alright. You're up. Way too loud. It's at 3.6. 6.7 now, or 6.6. 8.6. Alright. So the kick is at about a -11, -10. That's, you know, that's pretty good, in my opinion. Alright, so that's what's the RMS saying. Now on the RMS, we're looking for about a -10 or so. That's what I look for. Or a little louder than that. Now, since where I boosted at 138 on that kick, let's go back, and that's another, I did neglect that. Let's turn that down a little bit, because I do want to turn it down in the EQ just a little bit. Yeah. Alright, that's alright, that's alright. Next thing I'm gonna do in the 808, where I've boosted the kick at 138 hertz, 4+ dB. I'm gonna go to the 808. I'm gonna go exactly 138 hertz. And where I boosted in the kick, I'm going to cut in the 808 so that they do not clash. Okay. And as you can see, the bell, which is as tight as you can make it, see, I can make it blah blah, I can make it wide, I can make it thin. That's the bell. And that is at 0.60 is where I had this one here. And so I'm going to cut here. Alright. So that should mesh a little bit. Sometimes I do like to take out the high, the very high airy sound out of the kicks. I don't know about you guys, but I found a lot of the times in your kick, you get a lot of that I don't know, that punch around the 500 to 600 dB area. So sometimes I like to fool around and boost a little bit, see if I can get a little more punch. Sometimes not, so let's... I feel like you get a little bit. So where do we boosted around 240 hertz? No, 570. Sorry, 570 at 3 dB. So let's go to 570 at 3 dB. negative 3 dB. So we'll cut at 83 is the bell there. So we'll click on that and we'll go to 83. That's what we had. And you'll start to notice that the 808 and the kick sound slightly tighter together, and they don't fight with each other as much. I cut some of them highs out of the 808 as well. Okay. It's not bad. I might think of a few more things on the end of there, but alright, so to get that 808 poking through a little bit, there's another plugin that I've rented for another $10 through Splice. Okay, I'll tell you, it's a great thing when you can find places that will let you rent month to month their plugin, because a lot of places say, hey, go to the manufacturer's website, and that's just like, all right, why are you even on Splice? Just anyways. Ozone, I love it. You guys might not feel the same way. Let me know how you feel in the comments. But on my 808, I like to put Ozone in mono, because I don't know, just that's what everyone tells me to do. No, it brings everything down the middle. It really does. Yeah, I like to use the exciter now. Whoop. Go back. Thing about the exciter is I've just purchased it not even a month ago. I'm still learning how to use it, and what I've figured is from my 3 weeks of using the thing is to find where my 808 is in the frequency spectrum. Which seems to be in the about 40-ish megahertz area is where it's dominant. So they say is you want harmonics, so that 40, so 40, then 80, then 160, then 320. So that's what I've been doing. I got the Ozone Standard. That's $10 a month in the Splice store. And you take the exciter. And what I do is I take tape. I use tape. What's it called? Saturation. Tape saturation. First of all, I turn the mix down a little bit. Again, there's no science behind this. It's what sounds good to my ears. Let me know what might sound better. Not messed up with it. My feelings ain't gonna get hurt. Alright, this is where I will solo. To see if what I want is happening. Because my goal with this is when you're listening on, say, like your car stereo or even your cell phone, lo-fi systems. That's a good umbrella term. Lo-fi systems, I want my 808 to be heard. Okay? This is what I've learned to make that happen. So like I said, it's predominant in the 40 megahertz or in the 40 hertz area. So we'll go to 80. And then a 160. Like I'm saying, you guys, like, this is probably totally wrong, but it's actually worked for me. No, not here. But I can definitely hear my 808s on my cell phone. Now I'll put it in with the mix. And you still want to pay attention to what you're putting out. Make sure you're not clipping in your track there. Hear that chant? Let's go through and gain stage everything. This is what I do. Probably ain't the right way, but like I said, I'm a beginner at this. I'm here to learn. I'm here to teach. Whatever I can teach, please take it. Whatever I can learn, I'll take it. So I'm going to start soloing everything and gain staging the best I can. It's at a good level. Negative 14. About 16 is where I'd like it. Say 16, 17, yeah. Yeah, that's good right there. Kick. Yeah, that's about where I'd expect it. 9, 10, 11. Alright, so that's good. Let's move on. Yeah, that's a little high. 6 points. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. About 13, 14. Snare's about the second, the third, loudest thing in the track you want. So kick's sitting about 9, 10. Let's put the snare about, 11, 13, 12. That'll work. Hi-hat's loud. Definitely loud. So instead of turning it down by the fader, I turn it down by the plug-in, by the sampler itself. Nope, don't know why I did that. I don't know why that's here. Alright. Yeah, negative 4, 4, negative 6. Yeah, that's pretty high there. Let's bring it down a little bit. Negative 10. Alright. That should be good right there. That's sitting so high. That's an alchemy. So bring that down a little bit. Like I said, you want to make sure that is sitting lower than your kick. Right now my kick is sitting at 9.6. That's at 7.3. We need to turn that down. Still needs to come down. Yeah, it's better. So 19 dB. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a pretty good level. Alright, now, chant. That should be nothing. Yeah. 11. Slightly. Yeah, the chant's fine. Alright. Alright, so everything's staged pretty well. Nothing's clipping. Now let's check the master here. On the master, I'd say you want about, what, -2, -2.1, something like that. We're at -1.7. Ah. It's our RMS. Our RMS is meh. No, it's good. Go back. Now, levels of everything. Now I feel like I can't hear the main that well. Now, another thing I like to do is I like to take my main melody. I like to apply any filters, any plugins, EQs, compressors, anything I'm gonna do to it, and I like to double it. But first, I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna go back to my kick because I feel like it could definitely hit a little harder. I like to add a compressor on the actual kick channel. Me, I like the Studio FET. FET, my favorite. I don't know why. Watch this. Alright. However, I'm clipping now. Sounds good though, don't it? It's not what it's all about all the time, everybody. I don't like to crush with my compression. That's why I use a compression on my kick here in the main channel, and I also use one on my bus, so that it's not being crushed by one compressor, but it's being touched by 2 or 3. You know what I mean? That way, you don't lose all of your dynamics. It keeps it just a little bit. Just you'll see. Another thing I do, I don't know if anybody else does, but I do like to go through and low pass all of my sub low frequencies that would normally like muddy up the track. I don't know if everyone does this. It's something that I do. It works for me. Let me know what you think, if there's another method I should be using. That up in that frequency. I want to go back and check how badly. No, I'm still at a very good level there. Okay. Alright, now let me show you this, what I like to do here on the main melody that I got going, is I like to double it. So you right click, then you go to new track with duplicate settings. Okay, and that'll give you the a duplicate track with all the plugins, all the EQs, everything you did on the original track. Only thing is you have to you don't click on the actual bars itself. What you want to do is you click on the channel. And what that'll do is that'll select everything. Just in case you didn't know that. Sometimes clicking on the channel, if you have a break, like for example right here, it'll only select from here to here. But if you collect, like, let me show you. See? Only from here to here by clicking on the bar itself. But if you click on the channel, it'll select everything. So you want to select the channel itself. Then you click option and then you drag it down. There you go. Now it's doubled. What I like to do from there is I like to pan it about 20%. That's what sounds good to me. Left, 20% right. That way it's about it's as broad as you can get it sounding. Alright, folks. That's about what I got for you tonight. You let me know you got anything that I could learn. You let me know. What's up, little one? This is my daughter, everybody. Everybody have a good night. This is Jarroyojamz signing out. Let me know what you think in the comments. You got any constructive criticism? You let me know. You guys have a blessed one.